About a quarter of children across Yorkshire experience food insecurity, with families in Hull and Bradford being affected the most across the region. Many children consistently fail to meet the dietary recommended intakes of food. For many, it also means that families don't have access to healthy, culturally appropriate food that's needed for them to lead healthy and prosperous lives. With overconsumption of foods high in fat, sugar and salt, and lower than recommended intakes of fruit, vegetables and fibre, the UK is experiencing the worst than ever levels of diet-related disease. Around a fifth of children experience overweight or obesity by the time they start school, and levels go out to about a quarter by the time they leave primary school. These figures are all worse in children who lived in the areas of the highest deprivation, where children are twice as likely to live with obesity and about 3 times more likely to have dental decay. Not only does this impact on our health, it also plays a significant role on the environment, with about 30% of climate change coming from the food system. We're delivering multiple action-oriented research studies with a vision that all children have access to tasty, healthy and sustainable food. This considers both the health of the people and the planet. One of these projects is called Fix Our Food. We work alongside other researchers and stakeholders within Fix Our Food to support food system transformation across Yorkshire, focusing on food production, retail and food consumption. Given that about 30% of food is consumed at school, this is one setting that we're focusing a lot of our work. In the early phases of our work, we spent time listening to over 300 children and young people. Their top 3 priorities were free school meals for all, more recycling and composting, and opportunities to learn more about food production. We know what should be served, as there is a requirement for schools to provide food that meets school food standards. However, we don't know how much this translates into the food that they are actually offered, what they choose, what they eat, or what is wasted, and what happens to this waste. Schools have generously let us observe them, and we are using what we've learned to co-design resources that aim to help schools provide foods that are healthy, acceptable, and tasty. In England, the criteria to be eligible for free school meals is very tight. In addition to seeking welfare benefits, families must have an annual income of no more than £7,400 a year. Many children whose families don't meet the criteria still experience food insecurity, with many children telling us that they go without food or experience hunger. This included a lot of working parents, and one of our current projects is helping local authorities to set up free school meals using existing welfare data. Our early data that we're collecting indicates that this has enabled thousands of children to get a free school meal and brought in millions of pounds of extra income to school. This work is ongoing, and we're working hard to provide evidence to push for a national, central responsibility for enrolment to free school meals. We're exploring the role that community food organisations like food banks play to support families. And we're just embarking on a new research project with Bradford Council to consider ways to adapt menus so they're good for the planet and for the population.
As a school, we're really passionate about climate justice and what we can do to help the environment.
The first thing I think they should do is introduce vegan foods and also reduce amount of plastics.
If we introduce a bit more vegetables and fruits to our dinners, it might help people realize that there's not just meat in the world, there are other foods that they can eat.
In the future, I would like our country to become more dependable, growing this on fruit and vegetables, and we want to move towards having biodegradable lunch packaging.
Because obviously as a generation, it's up to us to make a change.